this is the Nextorage 1TB SSD. And for anyone who has a PlayStation 5 out there, who's lucky enough to have a PlayStation 5 out there, they're thinking, yeah, I'd love to expand my internal storage to play more PS5 games, but just they're all so expensive. And seriously, you could easily pay for the price of one of these consoles for a solid state drive that can be compatible with them. And of course, the Xbox Series X has a proprietary, solid state drive, so it's a little bit easier to expand that, but it's proprietary tech, and so it costs more. PlayStation, on the other hand, has a little bit more of an open policy where it's like, hey, you can kind of use anything that meets these specifications, but the issue is right there that you need to know what you're doing. And you can't just slap on anything with a PlayStation 5. You have to know what speed it can run at. You have to make sure it's the right connection port. You have to make sure that it has a heatsink. If you get one without a heatsink, you gotta buy the heatsink and add that on afterwards. And so it's kind of a hassle. And then comes along Nextorage with their solid state drive. That is, they have several kinds. They have a 1TB, they have a 2TB, and they have a 4TB, which costs as much as a PS5. Or as a PS5 when it first came out, not after it got its price hike. But you're probably thinking that I'm loaded with cash. Well, would you believe me if I said I didn't even pay $150 for this? No, I didn't. I didn't even pay $120 for this 1TB solid state drive. You're probably thinking, wow, that's the cheapest I've heard of since these became kind of a desired feature for a PlayStation 5. Would you believe me if I said I didn't even pay $100 for this solid state drive? You're probably thinking I took it off the back of a bus and said it fell off of a truck. No, that is not what happened. I got this on Amazon for $86. I shit you not. $86 for a 1TB solid state drive. Now you're probably thinking, this must be a piece of shit. It's not. So, if you've never heard this story, Nextorage. Nextorage is a Japanese company, which is kind of a breath of fresh air since seeing how every single computer tech company is not from China. Okay? But no, this is actually from Japan, although they might get their parts from China. I don't know, but at least is not a Chinese company. It is a Japanese company. And this company, Nextorage Corporation, guess who owns 49% of their stock? Sony does. So, in essence, this is kind of an unofficial Sony product because one of the main shareholders of this corporation is Sony. So, they're not going to let them make a piece of shit. They're going to say, hey, make sure this works with the PS5. And if you look closer here on this box, they actually have an image of a PlayStation 5. Hell, the instructions even have the instructions on how to install into a PlayStation 5. So this is a very PlayStation 5 friendly unit. Not only that, but while installing it, which I will show you in a few minutes, it was so obviously well designed for the PlayStation 5. When it's in the system, it looks like it belongs there. The heatsink is already attached. You don't have to worry about attaching a heatsink. You don't have to worry about doing anything but installing it. This is one of the easiest processes I have found in terms of adding expanded storage onto the PlayStation 5, because there are some solid state drives out there. It's like you have to make sure that it's the right size, it's the right speed, the right read speed, and you gotta make sure it has the right heatsink on it. And this, you get this, you don't have to worry about any of it because it's already set up. I'll leave a link in the description down below of the Amazon page that has this. That way you can add it to your favorites and periodically check it again, because it's no longer $86, but I see this go on sale on Amazon all the time. So if it's not $86 now when you check it, it might be next week. You never know. I see this go on sale constantly. I see it go on sale for $105, sometimes $100, $99 a few times, and of course $86 was the first time I saw it for Black Friday, but it's like I have to jump all over that. So let's install this thing. I have actually already installed it, but I'm going to show you my process of installing it.
Yeah, that is the 1 terabyte Nextorage 1 terabyte drive SSD. Pretty neat, very small, but we have to get this thing open first. And to do that, I need to take this stand off. You want to make sure to not have the surface of this on a hard table or, you know, anything rough. You want to make sure it's on a towel. And the neat thing about these instructions is they give you instructions on how to install it for a PS5. Not many of these solid state drives actually do that. And you'll be tempted to want to take this apart because you see those 6 obvious screws on the side. You don't want to do that, simply because when they put on this heatsink onto the solid state drive, they do it in a dust-free environment, and your house gaming room is not dust-free. So you want to make sure that you don't take this apart. Go. That is off. And then we'll want to take off this compartment door. And it's important you put this back on afterwards. A lot of people haven't done that, and it's kind of messed things up. Now, the next thing you want to do is take out this little tiny screw right here. There are different little ports for the size. There's some that are this small, and so it's designed for many different sizes of solid state drives. Take that out, put it there. And don't forget, there's a little spacer right here that will be crucial. You can't even see it really there. No. The instructions say you want to put it in the 80 slot. Which, yeah, that kind of looks accurate. It's 30, 42, 60, 80, and 110. I haven't seen a lot of 110s, but you basically want to put this little spacer in the 80 slots. And then you want to put this in at an angle downwards into that. Gently lower down. push it in. And yeah, that actually looks really, really flush with this. It almost looks like it's a piece of the PS5. It doesn't look out of place. Make sure it's in. Then you want to put in this screw. I don't think you want over tying it, just enough to have it flush in. Then we apply the metal plate, because apparently that helps dissipate the heat more effectively than if you were to leave it off. And I think that's really about it. I just need to put the lid back on.
Now, once I had that installed, I played around with it, and one of the big surprising things with this solid state drive is typically with one of these external hard drives that you get to store games, it'll say that's a terabyte, but in reality you get fucked and it's only like 955 gigabytes. Alright, it's on everything. You get a new computer, it says you get 1 terabyte of storage. It's actually 980 something. The Xbox Series X, they say you get a terabyte of storage, but only 800 of that is usable. On the PlayStation 5, they give you a shockingly large 800 and blah blah gigabytes of pathetic size. And in reality, it's 600 gigs and some change you get in storage. That is it. And so, like, that's just kind of like a fact of life. You know, external hard drives, they aren't as advertised. You don't get the full size of the hard drive, except when I plugged this in and I saw it register, it says you have 1000 gigabytes to use. I was just like, what? It's like, yes, you get 1000 gigabytes, not 980 something. No, you get 1000 gigabytes like it's advertised. Fuck a duck. I am happy with this product. Just because of that. Because for the first time in hard drive history that I have experienced, I actually get what is advertised. So, you know what? Thank you, Nextorage, for actually going the distance and giving me an actual 1000 gigabytes. Instead of just saying, yeah, you get 1000 gigabytes, but some of that needs to be applied for memory and storage and processing. So, in reality, you just get 900 and, 91 gigabytes. Something bullshit like that. So, that shocked me, and I started moving games over. I had heard that PlayStation 4 games would not be playable on this, which wasn't a deal breaker for me because I just needed storage for PlayStation 5 games. I could always store PlayStation 4 games on the external hard drives. But I tested out Doom 64, the PlayStation 4 version, on this. It was a small thing, so it moved pretty fast, and yeah, it played fine. So I don't know what that person was talking about, but yeah, this plays PS4 games just fine. And it plays PS5 games just fine. I tried Deathloop, Dying Light 2, and I tried the Medium. All of which were on the Nextorage solid state drive, and all of which were running perfectly fine. Because I think you're required to have a write or a read speed of like 5,000. And this claims to be 7,300. In reality, my read speed was like 6800. So not as advertised there, but it's still a lot higher than what they require you to have for a solid state drive. So overall, I haven't noticed any issues with this. I will post in the description if I do come across any issues with this, but this was finally a somewhat affordable solid state drive, and I understand $86 is a lot of money to some of you. I'm not trying to act like $86 is nothing. Ha 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 ha. I wipe my ass with 86. No, $86 is a lot of money. Okay, I acknowledge that, but compared to the prices of some of these other solid state drives, like $200, $240, $300, $400, $500, $1,000 for some of these solid state drives, $86 is a pretty heck of a deal for a solid state drive. And so, yeah, that's about it. I really have enjoyed this product. Not a lot of people know about Nextorage. I think this is going to be kind of the sleeper hit of the tech world, simply because it's oversought by Sony. So kind of it's a Sony product without actually saying it's a Sony product. And yeah, it's been awesome. I love having actually over 1,000 gigabytes of storage in my PlayStation 5 instead of that pathetic 600. Because I don't know what Sony was thinking, but putting only 600 gigabytes in the PlayStation 5 for storage was almost criminal. I mean, good gosh. The next PlayStation, the PlayStation 6, we need at the very least 1 terabyte. But that's not enough. We need 2 terabytes. Alright? Just to start off. We're still going to need to expand. There's no way that 2 terabytes is going to be enough. So you're still going to get your pound of flesh, Sony. But holy hell, could you please make your storages larger and not put it on us to have to do it. Sorry for that tangent. This is a great product. I absolutely love it. It's great. I would add this on your watch list on Amazon. There's these lists you can do on Amazon, and just check it every week to see if this comes down in price, because it will be $86 again. Mark my words. You just need to know when to look for it. So that's been my review of the Nextorage 1 terabyte SSD for the PlayStation 5. My name's Christopher Khan with 11-hour views, and that will be more. Sorry about that. That'll be all.